Well, hello YouTube, now back with another video, and today, as you can see, I made it to top 10 again this season. So in this video I just want to show you guys some high level DP gameplay, as well as a big topic right now, how to deal with the lag, especially in DP, and also some game management, how to manage your character properly, how to combo, how long should you combo, when to switch, when to transform, and when to stall for a little bit, and when you should go for the kill. But without further ado, let me first show you how to deal with some of the lag in DP. The best way to explain timing is during a Vanish war. So here, let me show you 3 different connections. So the first one is connection 3. So on connection 3 is usually the most delay that you will play in this game, and in order to vanish, you want to press R1 or circle when the opponent appear behind you. So right at this frame is when you want to press R1 to vanish. And then for connection 4, it's a little bit after that. So after the opponent appear behind you, when it's winding up to hit you, so in between the opponent appearing and him coming to hit you, is when you want to press R1. Connection 4. So this connection is usually what works the most with people. People really enjoy to play with this connection. And then let me show you the last one, connection 5, as known as offline timing. So in order to vanish in that connection, you want to wait until the opponent almost makes contact with you. So you want to press R1 exactly at this frame. And then I like to use vanish to explain the connection, because for the super counter is almost the same. You just want to press up square just a little bit after the vanish timing. So for example, in offline connection, to super counter is right after this frame. So whenever there is that light and the opponent is about to attack, that's when you want to press up square. So usually the up square super counter timing is a little bit after the vanish timing. Now let's start the actual set. So here, as you can see, I'm facing a Whis, and my opponent is multi-puppet. So I blocked this guy last season because he was extremely laggy, but Speedy told me that he kind of fixed his connection, so I unblocked him, and I'm kind of giving him a chance now to see how it goes. He's also very high on the leaderboard, so it gives a lot of points, so I pretty much have nothing to lose. So here, as you can see, he's using Whis and Broly, and let's see how I do. And you know, every Broly player that's tried to spam that unblockable, but fortunately I was able to vanish here and punish him with a super. And now the last character here, as you can see, I'm through that super because my opponent was spamming some key blasts, and that's how I finished up game 1. And the reason I skipped over game 1 is because it was a lot of stalling, a lot of me trying to figure out the timing, so I just chose to skip it. So let me show you in detail game 2 and game 3. So for this set, I'm using Android 13, Kefla, as well as Super Gohan. And what I want to do at the beginning is to put as much pressure on my opponent as possible, because I'm using an Android that starts with 3 key bar. So the sooner I can get my opponent in a knockback chain, the better it will be for me. So here I try to pop White Sand and follow up, but because of a slight delay, my White Sand doesn't come out, and I messed up the Z-Burst dash. So I was lucky I was able to guard on that step in, so now I'm back into the combo. But unfortunately, so here I chose to transform because I saw my opponent swinging, so I wanted to transform to throw that explosive wave, and I know for sure that it would hit. But in retrospect, that was a very bad play for me, because now I have no key, so all my opponent need to do is just stall out, and I'm on an Android and my switch timer is far from over. So my opponent is stalling to charge some key, and fortunately for me, I was able to hit him with the revenge counter. So it seemed like in this delay, as you can see, just lag spike a little bit. So in this delay, my opponent is not quite able to catch the revenge counter. So here, let me show you a little sequence that I have on this Broly. And I told you my opponent was extremely laggy. So against a laggy opponent, the way you want to combo is to spam a lot of Russian. So as you can see here, my opponent tried to hold perception, so I fully charged my gut punch, fully charged my holding armor, as well as my low sweep, and keep mixing up the light smash in between. So here I pause and I open him again with the light smash and keep spamming the Russian, because since the game is very laggy, I know that my opponent won't be able to vanish consistently, and he might be spamming the super counter. So that's usually why, like, against laggy opponent, usually you think that they get a lot of first frame. It's because you guys are mashing. You shouldn't mash again a laggy opponent, because I feel like it's easier to super counter in lag, at least mid combo, than it is to vanish Russian. So that's the reason why here I just pause my combo and use a lot of Russian, so that I'm able to deal a lot of damage on that Broly. So here Whis is putting me in the blender, and I feel like here the connection changed a little bit. So you see, like, auto combo, so that's where you can see that it's laggy. But that's fine. Right now I put ball in the blender, and that Whis is about half health remaining, but at least it doesn't have enough skill point to regen. But still, I think that my Kefla might be dead right here, but I still have Android 13 and Super Hero Gohan, so I should still be fine for now. So here Whis is trying to stall a little bit, as he did, like he's just trying to drain my ki, and that's very smart. That's how you should play against Android. Just run away a little bit and attack whenever they are low on ki while trying to charge. Here my opponent throw a barrier, but barrier is not good, it's punishable. He should have saved his skill point to hopefully regen, but I guess he was under pressure. So here I think that he's trying to run away to his Broly and transform, even if Broly is very low. But my opponent here is doing very good right now, running away and stalling for a transformation. So this could be very bad for me right now. So I know that that ball is at full ki, and you see what happened first game, just trying to spam that unblockable, but I was ready for it. Fortunately for me, I had 2 skill points, and you can perception is super if you have 2 skill points, even the unblockable. So that's how I was able to counter it. So now my opponent has less ki, so it's time for me to pressure as much as possible. So here I should be able to finish up that Broly, just do some rush shed as well as light smash within my combo, and I'm able to finish up the game. So here I use that opportunity to go into sparking. My opponent also went into sparking, but as good is on his last character, and I still have Super Hero Gohan at the back. But here I do something really stupid, so you will see. So as you can see, I threw the ultimate, and I have no idea why I did that. I think that it was a misinput. I was trying to guard while dashing, but because of the lag, I guess the 2 inputs pressed together and it just threw the ultimate. But that's fine, my opponent didn't punish, and I was able to swap out to Gohan. And here I got the super counter timing, and this is very good for me, because Gohan, if Whis touches Gohan, he is dead. So I need to transform as soon as possible to at least put the TP closer together. And I was very fortunate to get the super counter timing at the end. So I think that the connection switch again from 3 to 4. And 4 is the connection I feel the most comfortable on, at least on PS5. So here I should be able to finish up the game. That is almost dead, but he can still regen. So you see my opponent tried to knock me away, but I'm able to vanish. And fortunately for me, he just chose to hold perception after, so I just take his back and finish up the game quite comfortably. So now let's see how the third game of the set goes. And those are some of our game this season. So as you can see, some fights are very laggy, but sometimes it's just consistent. It's just about getting used to the timing. So they are like 3 main timing, 5, 4 and 3, and just learning those timing is the most important, because like at the beginning of the fight, what you want to do is to figure out whether you are fighting 5, 4 or 3. And those are the most common timing. I don't think that I ever fought it 2 in 1. So now back to the game. So as you can see, like as soon as my opponent touched me, like at the beginning, I threw a revenge counter. And that's another thing that you can do with Android 13. Since you start with 2 skill points, you can get at full ki at the beginning if you lose the first engagement, since usually opponents start with no skill point, so they are unable to catch your revenge counter. And with full ki, you just keep comboing your opponent and try to put him in a knockback chain. So here, after getting some damage on on Whis, I just switch into Kefla and transform as soon as possible. And the reason I'm doing that is to prepare for Broly. So I try to get as high as I can in terms of DP so that I can prevent the Broly from transforming. I also try to catch 2 birds with 1 stone, since like I'm now on a higher DP, so I should put a little more damage on that Whis. But my opponent is able to switch again to this Broly. So now I transform again to make sure I do the most damage that I can. And here we are pushing another combo sequence on that Broly. I dodge the light smash and get his back. So here, same thing as first fight, I just spam as many Russian as I can. So gut punch into low sweep, into light smash, pause a little bit, go into the flying kick, pause a little bit, let him turn, go into the rolling hammer to turn him around again, and keep using those light smash to mess up with the super counter timing. And here my opponent was starting to get desperate and throw the vanishing assault, and he was able to get that lucky super counter. But still, since I comboed him a lot with the Russian, I'm able to win the Vanish one since I was in key advantage. And this is another thing about the Russian, like each time that you hit a Russian, it gives you a little more key than just spamming square. So if you can hit Russian, you know that the opponent doesn't quite have the timing, just use the Russian like within your combo. It also keep your opponent in check. Here I do something stupid. When you want to switch, try not to throw Ki Blast first, because since the Ki Blast hit the opponent and I switch, my opponent just appear, my character appears on my opponent and he's just able to sidestep and get my back. But fortunately for me, I was able to get out of his combo and start my own. So here, now that I'm Superhero Gohan, same thing, I want to transform as soon as possible and deal a lot of damage on this Whis. And that Whis is almost dead right now. He only has 2 skill points, but he's in key advantage, so he's able to knock me back. And wow, you can see like the damage that Will does. I'm already almost dead, but I'm able to transform at the end. So now all I need to do is to win 1 engagement, because I should have enough damage right now to finish up the game if I'm able to put my opponent in combo. But here I had no key, but I'm able to block the flying kick, just sidestep twice into the low sweep. I don't know what happened here, it's just the lag spike, but I was mashing the perception, so I was able to catch the super counter anyway. And this is game 3. And as always guys, this is the end of the video. Hopefully you like it. If you like the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also write in the comment and let me know what more you want to see on this channel. Right, see you guys. Now out.